Greetings, mind crafters, and welcome to another Mindcraft discussion today. And this is a Sunday morning. These air a little bit afterwards. It's just absolutely beautiful, and thankfully there's nobody here. And I love people. Giovanni loves friends. Here he comes. But not in the woods. We like our friends to be not in the woods, out in the world. Out here, it's he and I, and it's so great. So my name is Kimberly Quinn. I just mentioned Giovanni back there. And today we wanted to talk about how springtime, really any time, because I guess if it were the winter, I would have a different context on the importance of the 20-second rule. But in the springtime, bordering on almost summer, because currently it's the end of the first week of May. I know these air in a couple weeks, but what a great time to embrace the 20-second rule. It's so much easier in the spring and the summer to eat well because everything's in season. Right, all the good stuff, all the good veggies. You got the grill, so you're not frying or doing whatever else terrible to food. And it's much easier to really get in a health regimen. So isn't that gorgeous? Look at that. Oh, you can't see Big J because I came too far down. But anyway, so the 20-second rule is from Sean Akers' Happiness Advantage. Come on, G. And it's been research demonstrated over and over again. I'm a little sweaty because we're on the downswing of the big loop, which you and I have done the big loop like last 5 out of 6 or 4 to 5, 5 out of 6 days. Anyway, it's great. It's like up, bridge, water, beautiful, down. A lot of bear if you came in the dusk time. Anyway, where was I? All right, 20-second rule. And so it's been research demonstrated there's a window of about 20 seconds where we are more apt to do something or less apt to do something. And so right now I'm thinking of hiking boots. Okay, right there. And if it's right now you're still in slug mode from the winter, and you're trying to start running, start walking, start hiking, start whatevering, right? The 20-second rule is about putting the hiking boots like right next to your bed or right by the door. And if you've got, hiking pants or if it's running and you got the tights or the shorts or whatever, nice clean pair of socks, put boots or sneakers or whatever, socks, shorts or tights or jeans or whatever, and shirt and whatever you need to do it. Because it's about that immediate, it's got to be right there, especially if we're in slug mode after the winter. Because what happens is, if we don't have everything readily available, I'm talking about when we're coming from couch potato mode, is you're already in a regimen, you might have a little more patience for it. But this has been research demonstrated over and over again. So if it's within the 20 seconds, that means we wake up, get out of bed, you might still have bed hair, it's early right now, and you get right out the door with your golden retriever and go for a hike, or whether it's a run or whatever it is. Much more apt to do it. Also, it's the gym. Just have everything in your duffel bag by the door, ready to go. Keys and little thing by the door or hanging up. Boom, go. We also know, because after 20 seconds, let's say you didn't do it, right? And you're like, oh, I really want to go for a hike today. It's early. We'll beat the people, so we're not up there with people and, stuff. And we want to have the woods to ourselves. But then you can't find one hiking boot, or you can't find, whatever, the right shorts you want to wear. Then you're like, mañana. I'll go later. And that turns into tomorrow. And this is how it works. And so the other way, too, is let's say, to my students, I often use a video gaming example. But let's say if you're, not that seasoned grown-ups don't play video games, because they do. And let's say it's watching less TV. Maybe one Netflix instead of binge. Not judging, using it as an example. And it works the other way, too. So the 20-second rule helps us to do things more easily and consistently, and therefore shifting and leaning into a really good habit. You're setting yourself up to succeed with the 20-second rule just by making it easier. Again, research demonstrated. I have such a pet peeve with that. You see influencers, I've talked about this before, like based on neuroscience, based on research. I'm thinking of one in particular. And then you're like, okay, because they hook you with that, like it's going to be real. And then you're waiting, like, where's the research? Where's the real neurological backing? And you can look it up. Sean Akers, Happiness Advantage, he's done tons of research. So then the other way is if you're trying to not do something, right? So it works with also unhealthy foods. Like if you don't want to come home and eat the Oreos, if you tuck the Oreos away in a Tupperware and put them downstairs, mouse free, put them in a nice Tupperware that locks, put them in your sweater drawer or something that's that's a little bit out of the way, or downstairs or a garage, or if you're in a smaller living space, put it in a box, put it in a lockbox, something, and then put the key up in a cupboard or something. So if you have to go all through that to get the Oreos, after the 20 seconds, research says you're not going to care as much. And if you do care that much, there might be a reason. You might have to come up with amp it up a little bit. But I'm thinking more of like the remote. If you're trying to not watch Netflix, you're trying to come home because you're tired, you're tired from working or whatever, and it's the easiest thing to do is to grab the remote rather than make a cup of hot tea or pour a glass of wine and just read a book. What you want to do is do the same thing with the remote that you did with the Oreos, right? You want to get it out, you want to put it away. Like, so you can put it outside in your car in the glove compartment. We're not talking about Fort Knox here, right? Just make it a little more inconvenient for you. So research says if it takes longer than 20 seconds, again, to either find what it is you want to find to go for a run, or to not find what you really want to do that you know isn't a healthy habit, you're going to say, mañana, forget about it. And it works the majority of the time. I've been doing it for a long time. My big example is not only the hiking boots for today. It would take a lot to keep G and I out of the woods, to be truthful, but definitely because I'm a runner, and it's difficult. It's kind of difficult to run in northern Vermont in the winter. So I definitely feel that first initial push right about now when you're trying to get running is, I'll admit, even though I love running, the first like April and May takes some real planning. Have the sneakers ready because you're like, breathing through a washcloth. It feels like that, right? Then it gets easier, of course. But I do the same thing when it's time to kick up the running habit again. I hike and snowshoe all winter, so that's kind of going. But definitely it's a big push to get moving for running. And then what was I going to say? The other thing was, the eating example. And then once we begin to shift into the habit, remember, habits aren't broken or made or broken, but they actually shift. And so this is really what we want to do. Again, spring and summer is just by far one of the easiest times to do this. Oh, I know, there comes the squirrel. Okay, squirrel's right back. One of the ways this has been enormously successful for me is with my gratitude journal, because I write my gratitude journal every single day. Rarely do I miss one. It's usually if I'm traveling for the weekend, because I don't really like to take it out of the house. So I have another one too that, sometimes I'll do something like that just because I don't want to leave it there. But I don't miss a day. I don't miss a day. And here's how. I have it on the windowsill of our bedroom. So I literally I wake up, do my thank yous and everything. I have to walk right past it to get out the door to start the day. There's the gratitude journal. And then it's like a double 20-second rule, which is called habit stacking. I put a pen wedged in there too. The pen does not move. I don't let people take it out to write a phone number. Nothing. That is my gratitude journal, and they know better now because it's been years of training. Go find another pen, and often I put a pen up by the phone just for that reason, and they don't go looking. And so, because, otherwise you get the gratitude journal, you get your hot tea, you're sitting, and then if you can't find a pen and it goes past 20 seconds, research will say it's a significantly high percentage that you're going to say, what's missing once? Tomorrow. And then what happens tomorrow? It's maybe you'll get back at it, maybe you won't. And each day that you don't is further momentum to the habit just sliding right downhill and disappearing. And so that is the 20-second rule. And it is, again, research demonstrated. Sean Akers, The Happiness Advantage, is a fantastic paperback. I hope to meet him one day. He's on my list of people to do lunch with. I used the book for my Mindcraft class, and it's really, really good. Oh my gosh, is it so good? He's like he's a Harvard guy, but he's like a regular. He writes like he talks, and he's also very funny, and I would strongly encourage it. So that's just one of his tips. There's the 20-second rule. Okay, it's Giovanni and I signing off from the beautiful Notch at Northern Vermont. Have a mindful day.